Well, welcome to Hamilton County TV Coaches Show. I'm Perry Williams. As you can see, once again, we got Westfield head coach Jake Gilbert. Welcome, Coach.
Hi, Perry. Welcome back. Thanks for having
Well, thank you. Well, right now we're going to talk a little bit about the second season.
me. Yeah.
You had a pretty good first season there.
Yeah.
You went 8-1, and Brownsburg was a very difficult opponent, and that was the only one you lost against. But now we're starting all over, and you got the Carmel Greyhounds, and you're going to Carmel. Talk a little bit about Carmel and about,
Well, first I would like to acknowledge that we were second place in the HCC, won both of our non-conference games. Very proud of our kids and our staff. It's just so hard to do.
Oh, yeah.
These seniors, during their 4 years here, they've lost 3 HCC games. So that's pretty tough. We play in what I think is the best top to bottom football conference in Indiana. And, Brownsburg was better than us this year, and they beat us handily, and we got second in the conference. And with all that parity, us, HSE, Zionsville, Noblesville, Fishers, there's just so many close games. And every week you play someone good. So just to be at your best and weather the storm when you have injuries and you need depth and you need focus and anyone can beat you, man, it's hard. And so in back-to-back weeks we saw Noblesville almost beat Brownsburg, who was the champ. And then we saw Noblesville get beat by Avon, who was winless. That kind of stuff happens every year in our conference. I just feel like top to bottom, there's so much good coaching. And so to go 8-1 on our schedule, which Sacramento had as the third hardest schedule in Indiana, I think is a major accomplishment. So just really proud of our coaches and our kids, and wanted to say that.
Oh, absolutely. And a very good point.
And then at Carmel, here we go again. So this will be our 4th trip to Carmel on the sectional in 6 years. So we're used to going there. It seems like it's how it always turns out. So we excited for the opportunity to play them. Much respect for John Hebert, who's one of the best guys in the profession.
Yes, he's a very fine man.
So tons of respect for their program, which clearly is historically one of the best programs in Indiana. First couple of years we got to play them, they pounded us by 21 and 28 points respectively. Last year we were able to get the win, and that was a great feeling to do so. And so I'm sure they're hungry because we knocked them out last year. I'm sure we'll get their best shot, and we need to make sure that we deliver ours as well.
Absolutely. As far as the Greyhounds, you've been there before, so it's really nothing new for you to travel. And of course, the travel is very
5 minutes.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just get
So
on the bus and we're there. It's,
Yeah.
I could just tell the kids to meet us there if I wanted. It's pretty close.
well, that's good. That's good. Excited about the sectional getting started because I think there's going to be a lot of good games coming up here. And yours being one. I mean,
Absolutely.
you and Carmel and Coach Ebert being such a great guy. But let's talk a little bit about also this game. Let's just talk about this past week. You had it's hard to say an off week or you didn't play on Friday. Okay, yeah, we didn't play on Friday. And I know that you do a lot of team building and things like that. And you get, to be quite honest, you get to rest a little bit for some of your football players.
Which we needed. We were banged up defensively, and so it was good to get some rest. We had some D linemen out, and we needed the bye for that purpose. But we're fortunate that our bye week also falls on the week that our school has fall break, and so we had no class and no game, and so we go the first few days, and we do a lot of team building. We try to really build character for all of our players. Jim Ginder from the health department came in and spoke to us about the dangers of vaping. That's something near and dear to us. We've had a couple of former players die of overdose, and we want to make sure that we have no more. So that was good. Prevail came in and spoke to us about relationships, and we want to make sure that when it comes to assault or domestic violence, that our guys are leaders, even if they're not worried about these issues today, Perry, they may need to worry about these issues in college and beyond, and we would hope that they would be great leaders and set an example for other people who they run with and friends of theirs and future family. And so we want to spend some time just really teaching our guys how to behave the right way. We do that. We do some fun things too, though. We go to a haunted house. We have a costume practice. We don't take ourselves too seriously around here, so we make sure we have a good time as we do it, and then do just a little bit of football work to get us ready for Carmel. Some introductions. We'll kind of wrap up the week 9 opponent at Franklin Central, and we lift a couple times and condition, but then we spend a little bit of time in football as well. But a lot of it's about building team and building our guys as individuals.
Yeah, because so much I think people just say it's football and stuff, but one thing I've always learned from you is, and I know many coaches do the same way. It's about teaching the kids about life. I mean, because like you said, this class has lost very few conference games, but it was hard. It's been hard on them to lose those, so they get that taste of it's not as much fun to lose as it is to win.
Well, if you have 200 players in your program, like some of us big schools have, you have to realize, maybe 35 players play in a varsity game. You can only dress 85 for the playoffs. So that means the majority of your roster, the guys are not even dressed.
Yes.
And so the purpose for all those kids to be here is the experience and have fun, but then also we want to use that experience to sharpen them up. Iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. So we want to be a program filled with young men and ladies who are going to help build character in each other.
Yeah, well, that's great. I wanted to make sure that we talked a little bit about that today and discuss that week. There's a lot of planning that goes in, even to have fun, because when you play every week for 9 straight weeks, there's not a lot of time to have fun, and not that you try your best, but there's certain things you got to get accomplished.
It's a lot of work
before the weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. So it was good. So we came back Monday refreshed and ready to go, and locked in on the second season. And now you've got somewhere between 1 and 5 weeks to fight for your team's life, really. And so that's where we find ourselves, and excited for the opportunity to do so.
But one of the great things that I think that you've mentioned several times is the senior leadership, and this last few years, the senior leadership you've had, and each year those seniors have stepped up, and that's a big part of what you try to accomplish too.
Yeah, definitely. And we've had some great senior classes, and this is one of the best. These guys have just done things right for years, not just this week, not just this season, for years. And ironically, we have no move-ins in this class. And so a lot of times people think, oh, Westfield football, well, you've had all these good players move in there. We don't have a single kid here that didn't play for us in youth. Not in this senior class. So the guys that are leading the way, they're all homegrown kids, and they've waited for this opportunity for years and years and years. My middle son, Jackson, who plays for the team now, he was a ball boy when we first went to Carmel and got smoked, and he lived that part, and so these seniors, they've been great leaders because they're all in on our program, and they have been since they were little future rocks.
One thing you mentioned there about all the kids are homegrown, that's a very, very important part, because you have built a complete program, and you continue to work on that program. So all those basics that the kids get in elementary football, then your travel teams and all those type of things, they've already got some of that base knowledge that you need to be a rock.
Yeah, we want to build on an experience, right? So we want it to be fun. We want them to learn technique. Obviously, we want it to be safe, but we want them to leave football in a state where they can't wait for next season and play again, and they want to visualize playing for the high school someday and being on the big field and like the big boys. We want all that. I think we are very fortunate here to be a one-horse town, and we can kind of connect from K through 12 here in our football program, and there's great articulation from top to bottom, and I've been given great control over all of that. And so, the vision and how we do things and our purpose, all that's pretty consistent throughout. So teaching football, that's the easy part, right? But to be able to really get everyone on the same page for how we do things, that's the hardest part, because sometimes selfishness would ruin that. Well, we managed to keep agendas at bay for the most part here, and these kids are examples of that. They grew up here and spent their whole lives just wanting to be a Rock, and dreaming that they'd get an opportunity like they're going to have Friday.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, and I wish you the best of luck. And in the playoffs against Carmel as number one, you got to start somewhere, and so
let's
you
keep
might as
going.
well. Let's keep it going. So
Hope to see you next week.
I hope so too. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.